let's talk about this Davante Adams trade. AI-generated fantasy insights built with IBM Watsonx. Davante Adams, a hot commodity literally right now in fantasy football and in real football. Break down what you think, Field. You talked about this a little bit yesterday, but it was like literally on the moment. We didn't have any time to really digest anything. If you're looking at this offense, they got a lot of different fantasy pieces that we utilize. How is this going to impact everyone that is now a part of this team?
So I thought about this. I was going back, looking at the numbers. And I wanted to establish a baseline of what Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams were together. And I want to also acknowledge, which I can do now, that was 3 years ago. And also acknowledge that the number 2 wide receiver behind Davante Adams in Green Bay might have been Marquez Valdez-Scantling. It actually was Alan Lazard, but now it's Garrett Wilson, right? So Garrett Wilson, who is a much better player than anybody that Davante Adams played alongside during his time in Green Bay. But in his last 2 seasons with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback, just to give you guys a sense of how special this connection was, Davante Adams in his final 2 seasons, which was a total of 30 games because he missed a couple due to injury, was a top 2 wide receiver for the week 11 times.
It's unreal.
Like, think about how great Justin Jefferson or Tyreek Hill or any of these guys who are awesome right now are. Like, that was him, like, basically every week, it felt like. He had 19 top 16 finishes in those last 2 seasons. So, and oftentimes it was not just top 16, it was literally top 2. So he was incredible with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. Now, he had 109 targets, more than any other Packer in 2021. He had 86 targets, more than any other Packer in 2022. So there are 2 primary concerns. 1, they're 3 years older. 2, there's a lot more competition for targets. But that's the reason why we're not saying, hey, Davante Adams is wide receiver 1 for the rest of the season. We're saying he's more like wide receiver 8 to 10 for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and by the way, the Packers during that era generally ran like the last couple of years, like very slow-moving, balanced offenses. The Jets have not been that. They're the second pass-heaviest offense in the NFL, game script adjusted so far this season. And I looked at expected fantasy points for their running backs, receivers, and tight ends to get that just gives you an idea of the available volume for those guys, like the opportunity to score fantasy points, second as a group in the NFL. So, and part of that is because they're throwing a lot. Part of it is because Aaron Rodgers doesn't scramble. So that's going to be more targets for these guys. So if you're wondering if there's an opportunity for Adams and Wilson, let's just say conservatively, to both be top 15 scoring receivers, which would be a great outcome, the answer is clearly yes. By the way, right now, as we sit here, they have 2 top 15 scoring fantasy receivers with Alan Lazard and, of course, Garrett Wilson. So, yeah, that one hurts.
So good. That's so good. I love that.
Unbelievable. So definitely an opportunity. Not to mention Breece Hall's been good, and Tyler Conklin had a 90-yard game. Like, these other guys have been mixed in to the offense as well. So, yes, they're going to feature both of these guys. It might not be 33% of the targets. It might be 26, but there's an opportunity for both.
All right, that is AI-generated fantasy insights built with IBM Watsonx.